Hey Facebook, how's everybody doing today? Hopefully everybody's up and caffeinated. I feel like it's almost 10:30. Definitely should be caffeinating by now. This morning I woke up and I said to myself, buddy, one of these days you're gonna have to give up drinking so much coffee. Thank God my name's not Buddy. Kind of a special treat today. Sandy Locke, who many of you know and some of you don't, just started flipping her own or remodeling her own houses, and so this is pretty exciting. We're gonna do a little bit of a Q&A, check out the first one that she's done, and I think y'all will be very excited by this because she's definitely 100% of the style and grace behind the scenes. So without further ado, all right. Hey, Sandy.
Hi.
So just a real quick background. Sandy's been working for me for the last 5 years probably now. And when she first came on, I was able to kind of offer that if she ever was interested in doing her own houses, then she could do that under the Gutschmidt Properties umbrella. So we do not manage properties for other people, but for the right person, for the right circumstances, if you're on the team, then absolutely. So Sandy, what do we got that we're seeing here today?
Yeah, today this is my first property. So one of the many things that I do for Eric, especially the past 2 years, is pretty much all of the design. And so I thought today, I know when Eric does the lives, he usually talks a lot about the year the house was built and some of the historical elements, but I wanted to talk a little bit more about the design because that's what I love, that's what I do. So the first thing I wanted to show and kind of get some feedback on is this little mud bench. And I think we'll probably add some hooks up here as well. Lately, we have been trying hard to add little landing pads when there's not an existing mudroom, which you don't often find in 100-plus-year-old houses. It's funny too because I never thought about it, and then I had kids, and I was like, oh, well, it would be nice to not, fall over all of their stuff is the second you walk in the door. So yeah, we've been kind of leaning in lately to adding a bench, adding some hooks, kind of giving folks a space, kind of a pseudo mudroom or whatever you want to call it. But I would love to get feedback on if tenants think that that's worth it, if they like it. Because when I make that choice, I am essentially then kind of taking that away from the tenant. Maybe they wanted to do something else here, I don't know. So yeah, I would just love some feedback on that because yeah. I think it's smart, but I don't know. I don't speak for everyone.
Ooh, look at this big open floor plan.
Yeah, super great.
Shotgun style. You can see all the way from the front of the house all the way to the back of the house.
Yeah, good for airflow especially. Yeah, so in this room, something that caught my eye that's interesting that I learned from Eric and really taken to heart is in these old houses, you kind of have to make a lot of choices about historical preservation versus modernization. And so the big thing with modernization is obviously energy efficiency. We take that really seriously. We try really hard to take steps to sort of fortify these homes so that your utility bills aren't as high. That's really important to us. And in this room, you can kind of see it at play because we've got the original window, irreplaceable. You've got the leaded glass on top, the size is really custom, but obviously it's not a new window. Over here, we've got the new vinyl window. It's got a really good efficiency rating. We've got those throughout the house. So yeah, it's just kind of, these are all those little things we think about. We certainly could have taken that out. That would have been sad. We also certainly could have left the original kind of busted wooden windows. They were functional. But yeah, we think about these things and kind of make that choice. Yeah.
So what do we got? What do we got going on here?
Here is formal dining room, and so one of the things that I do is we often build properties before they're 100% done. And anytime I find a tenant who's interested in interior design and stuff like that, I try to work with them to make choices for the light fixtures and flooring and stuff. So this tenant had an interesting background. They have a background in art, former art curator, art teacher, really cool. So they were telling me that they've got a very eclectic style. The quote that stuck with me was, "My only rule with art was to only buy what I love," which I like that a lot. So anyway, I wanted her fixtures to be bold and kind of, definitely make a statement, but not take away from what I hope will end up being a very colorful wall with lots of beautiful art on it. The other thing that's interesting too is you can kind of tell this is the modern farmhouse design. Love it or hate it, I think modern farmhouse is definitely here. It's here. I don't know if it's here to stay forever, but it's here. It has arrived. And kind of the ripple effect of modern farmhouse is even 2 years ago when I started, we could have never afforded a fixture like that. We could have never afforded kind of this beautiful vinyl flooring. It just wasn't available in like our price point as, house slippers or whatever you want to say. And so it's just nice to have a lot more neutral options out there. I think if you really lean hard into the farmhouse style, then that's what you have. But the beauty of the modern farmhouse is that it's fairly neutral. And if you kind of like mix it the right way, you can be a nice base for other things. So, secondary bedroom. Eric was saying this is called a worker's cottage. And what was the trick with the ceilings?
Workers' cottage, 1890, 1800s, so 10-foot ceilings. In the dining room here, it looks like they lowered the ceilings just a little bit, so it's 9-foot ceilings, but that would have been something done later. 1800s is 10-foot ceilings, 1900s is 9-foot ceilings. General rule of thumb.
I want to know, what's more interesting to you? That fun fact, which was fun, or do they like to talk about the design? I don't know. I'd be curious to kind of hear some input there. Okay, now we're in what I think is the showstopper of the house, the kitchen. Yeah, it is pretty great, I think, if I do say so myself. So again, it's all about balance. The thing that we chose to keep in this house is the original cabinets. They had been painted before we bought them, and then we painted them again, really freshened them up, bright white. Another interesting thing was the hardware direction was already this way. This is new hardware. The old hardware wasn't salvageable, but the fact that it was slanted, it already came that way, so that was kind of cool. We got to kind of lean in. Lately, I've been really loving the butcher block countertop on top of a white cabinet. I think that it just adds a lot of texture, which Eric is a big fan of texture. The other way that we tried to add some texture was doing the white cabinets here, and then I could have added more white cabinets over here, but I thought I would pull in the butcher block and add some beautiful wood cabinets. The tenant moving in really loved this light fixture, so I decided to kind of mix in the black and the gold. So we've got gold hardware over here, black hardware over here. I've been mixing metals since the 90s. I love that look. I think it's really cool. I think it's coming back, but I would love to know if people like that too. I think the more obvious choice would have been to match the hardware, but I think, yeah, kind of mixing it up. Texture. I don't know. I'd love to know what y'all think about that. I think it's pretty great.
All the feedback, folks.
Yeah,
leave it in the comments.
Yeah.
Just no trolling.
Please. Bathroom, again, we've got the original cast iron bathtub in there. Yep, kind of some more black and gold light fixture. And then, just another little kind of back entryway, laundry room on the first floor. I think that's a real popular choice people like, and kind of a flexible space, so kind of neat.
This is super cool. Awesome. Thanks so much, Sandy.
Thank you.
Happy Friday, everybody. Feedback in the comments. Let us know what you think. Is this the coolest house we've ever done? It's definitely the coolest house that Sandy's ever done, since it's her first and only house, right? So hopefully everybody has a great weekend. Cheers, guys.